Hey there, how are you today? My name's Dana Tamara. You have landed on Astrocast. This is the new moon in Gemini report for this week, June 17th or the 18th, depending upon where you are in the world. So we have a new moon in Gemini this week at the very end of the week. I don't know when you're hearing this, but it's June 17th or 18th, depending upon where you are in the world. And new moons in general are a point in time, in my humble opinion, for us to take a moment, kind of look at our life and say, okay, I'm going to have 13 lunar cycles this calendar year. What am I going to do with these beautiful moon cycles? Where can I begin again? Where can I hit the reset button on something? What's a new intention I can focus on? Right. And I love this because I think so many times we have been schooled, first of all, to do that at the end of the calendar year, December 31st, which is just so weird to me because it's a point in time where really we're kind of in hibernation mode. We're not meant to be out in the world, making all these big intentions for the year. And not only that, but I don't know, setting intentions for 12 months is a really big deal. I think for me, I like to think of three words for the calendar year that I want to focus on, that I want to really be my focus. And if I can just focus on those three words, right, that's good because gives me a lot of space. But to set intentions for an entire year, I think it's quite challenging. If we can break it down 13 times a year, and now we've got all this opportunity to make a shift, make a little tweak to what we decided we wanted to do. We can allow things to come in. I mean, we're ever evolving. So we just want to make sure we're not super rigid. And this new moon is anything but rigid because Neptune is super active. So I want to share my screen with you and show you the new moon. Okay. So the reason that we have a new moon is because the sun and the moon are at the same degree. And you can see that over here. It's at 26 degrees in Gemini with Mercury sitting right next to it, right? So that's Mercury over there. Mercury is the planet of communication. So this new moon is going to be a lot about communication. Okay. A lot about communication. Now, the other thing is Neptune is right here, and Neptune is creating a square with the new moon. Okay. And I should say something too about this. So Mercury is actually sitting at 11 degrees. Okay, just entered Gemini recently. And it's not creating a conjunction with the sun and the moon, but it's in the sign of Gemini. So there's a lot of energy around communication. I just want to point that out. And then Neptune is actually squaring the sun and the moon. And I'm going to go over that with you guys. But I just want to say something about Neptune. Neptune is all about dreams and fantasies and creative energy and psychic abilities and our gift of being able to see things from a higher perspective, from a mystical place of recognizing life as opposed to being bound by a linear way of being, right? And so when we have Neptune squaring the sun and the moon, it can create a sense of illusion. It can create a sense of fogginess. It can create a sense of cloudiness around what we believe to be true and what we deem as an illusion. I talk to a lot of people when I'm working with them one-on-one, and some people will say, I think, Dana, that my biggest issue is trying to figure out if I'm acting from a place of fear and illusion or if I'm acting from a place of truth. And I say, oh my gosh, if you can figure that out, you've graduated, because that, I think, is the biggest question for a lot of us. It's like, what is it? Where is this motivation? Where is this decision? Where is my attitude coming from? Right. And so this new moon is going to create a little sense of cloudiness around that. But don't worry, it's okay. It really is okay. There could be worse things in the world, right? Okay, so here's the screen again. So Neptune wants us to use our psychic abilities. Neptune wants us to connect to our spirituality. Neptune wants us to dream big and allow ourselves to see things from like this mystical, magical way of being. So my invitation to you is to do that, to allow yourself to dream big, to allow yourself space to step out of the norm, to allow yourself the space to say, what was that dream that I had when I was, 5, 15, 25, 35, right? Whatever it is, and allow yourself to take little steps in that direction, right? So it will create a sense of extra sensitivity, right? Multidimensional energy, artistic and creative energy. It's going to bring all that up, which is just, I don't know. I just think it's so beautiful to have that type of influence at any time of the day, right? Mercury will also sextile Venus. So if you look right here, here's Mercury at 11 degrees. It's going to open up that 11-11 portal, which is all about shifting, right? And then you have Venus up here, right? So Venus is sitting in Leo, not super happy in Leo, very close to Mars, but sextile Mercury, which is gosh, it's creating a sense or offering up a sense of compassion. When you've around your speech, maybe creativity is enhanced. Maybe everything that you feel, you can feel or express with a little bit more affection, a little bit more love. Venus is all about abundance and financial flow and just energy around abundance, really. Mercury also sextiles Mars. It's not really as strong as the Venus influence because Mars is at 16 degrees instead of 11, but there's still that energy. This is going to increase your intellect. Mars is that forward momentum, trying to push you forward a little bit or usher you forward. I should say, so when Mercury is sextiling Mars, is speeding up your thought process, right? It's definitely a brand new beginning energy, which is always a good thing. And then, excuse me, Mercury will square Saturn. So I don't know if I mentioned it in this one or in the weekly forecast, but Mercury's super active this week, and Mercury squaring Saturn is really about you allowing yourself some time to focus, to concentrate, to ask those questions of like, what's mine, what's yours, what do I really want, what am I really doing? Let me be diligent about completing this project and this project and this project, and being honest with my and authentic with my energy, and really holding you to your truth. Mercury squaring Saturn. So I don't know what that means for you. I kind of know what it means for me because I'm moving in that direction. But I hope that this was helpful for you. Biggest thing with new moon is those 3 days before and 3 days after, but really mainly the 3 days before the new moon is when the energy is super potent. So I would say allow yourself some time and some space and some energy to just kind of check in and ask yourself, what am I really doing? What do I really want? What do I want to focus on this lunar cycle? Right? And you've got like 28 days to focus on something. So pick something that really is meaningful to you. And if you want me to read your natal chart, just to kind of see where this smashes up against your chart, you can reach out to me at dana@danadamara.com. Go to my website at danadamara.com, get the cost and all that. Or you can also go to myastrocast.com, put in your email. You get a bunch of emails from me telling you how to find your own chart and just giving you little snippets of how to understand some of this astrology stuff. I want to say thank you so much for joining, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Namaste.